Let's go. Man, it's a beautiful Wednesday here in the Buckhead community of Atlanta. What's up, family? Where all my peoples at? Hit that like button, hit that share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know your boy, Ramonepreston, my squad. Y'all know we all here live in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. This is the day that the Lord has made. We already rejoicing. We're glad in it. We in here grinding on this beautiful Wednesday, W-I-N-S day. Do me a quick favor. Put in the comments what city you're watching your boy from. I want to say welcome to the Ramonepreston show. If you don't know, now you know. My name is Ramonepreston. I'm the host of the Ramonepreston show. And you know what? Every Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon, Eastern Standard Time, we show up here live on the Ramonepreston show, giving you the game. All the information that I share with you on the Ramonepreston show is designed to help you properly start and structure and at some point scale a successful business. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, and you're looking for creative ways to scale your business, maybe to structure and engineer your business so that you can see success, then what I share with you on this show is going to help you. Today, we're going to be talking about part 2 on how to use a holding company for acquisitions. All right? I've been saying this for the past couple months, like publicly, and I've been saying it privately to people who are in my mentorship program and students and clients that I work with. I've been telling everybody, because I'm hearing other successful people say it that I be around, that the next big wave for entrepreneurs, at least for the next 3 to 5 years, the next big wave is acquisitions. So whether you agree with it or not, whether you are familiar with it or not, whether you're educated on it or not, I think the next big wave for entrepreneurs in the next 3 to 5 years is going to be the wave of acquisitions. All right. And that's why today is part 2 on how to use a holding company for acquisitions. So just in case you missed yesterday's show, just in case you don't know nothing about acquisitions, let me start out by saying acquisitions is basically the process of you taking possession of, controlling, or acquiring assets. That's what acquisitions is. Whether it's real estate acquisitions, whether it's business acquisitions, or whether it's any asset that you are acquiring. When you think of the word acquisitions, I just want you to think of how you're going to take possession of and or control a specific asset. It could be a physical asset. It could be a digital asset. It could be an intellectual asset. It could be the asset of a product or service or business. It could be so many different things. But what I want you to understand is this next big wave that's hitting the marketplace for entrepreneurs is this wave of acquisitions, not just business acquisitions and not just real estate acquisitions. It's a wave. It's something that's really big, and it's happening right now. And for the next 3 to 5 years, I think we're going to continue to see it happen. So I'm going to be talking about part 2 of how to use a holding company for acquisitions. But again, I want you to understand what acquisitions is. So when I say using a holding company for acquisitions, I'm basically just talking about you having an entity, I'll put HC there, and using that entity as a parent company to hold assets, to hold businesses, to hold investments. And so when you structure a company like a holding company, and the primary purpose of it is to hold and control of the assets, now you have a greater advantage for business acquisitions. It don't mean you can't acquire another business or another asset or some type of investment with a regular LLC. It just means that if you don't have a holding company and you're not like operating on this level of acquisitions, it may just mean you don't have the knowledge. You haven't been around people who have helped you to understand what it is and how it works. But for all of you that are following me, we're talking about part 2 of how to use a holding company for acquisitions, okay? So we're talking about holding companies, and then we're talking about how do you use this holding company to acquire businesses, to acquire assets and investments and things that can continue to increase your enterprise value and ultimately your net worth, all right? Now, one of the reasons why I believe, and a lot of people that I talk to and that I get around believe that the new wave for entrepreneurs, at least for the next 3 to 5 years, is going to be heavy on acquisitions, is because there's a wealth transfer taking place, right? So you have this whole generation of baby boomers. That's what they call them. You got this whole generation of baby boomers, okay? And so this generation of baby boomers, they're over here, and they may be 40, 50, 60, 70 years into business. The baby boomers make up a generation of people who are retiring from the workforce. They are no longer, grinding and hustling like a lot of us young whippersnappers are out here grinding and hustling. And most of these people are not in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. Most of these people might be in their 60s or 70s or 80s or even older, and they've been in the game. They got assets, they own businesses, they own investments, they have retirement accounts. Man, it's trillions and trillions of dollars of equity from homes. It's trillions and trillions of dollars from retirement accounts and pension plans and business assets and all types of things, right? But this whole world of baby boomers who made up the workforce and who made up the marketplace for the last 30, 40, 50, maybe 60 or more years, this whole world, this whole ecosystem, they're transitioning. They're saying we're getting out of here. All right, they're moving. Now, a lot of them are not dying. They just want to enjoy the rest of their life. Okay, so if they have assets, businesses, investments, equipment, you name it, they have it. They got all these assets, intellectual assets, whatever the assets are, and they're exiting. They're looking to not take that with them. They're looking to transition it. And that's going to transition or transfer over to people who are currently doing things in the marketplace. All right. So this should be you. This should be you over here. And the better prepared you are as an entrepreneur today, the more opportunities you're going to have, not just from the baby boomer generation, but also from people who are over here who might be ready to stop doing business, because there's so many opportunities. All right. And so I want you to have your holding company set up, structured right. I do want you to have products and services that you're selling so that you can market your business and make money and be able to stay afloat and make a living. But I also want you to carve out this whole new thing for acquisition so that you can at least be prepared. There's a lot that you got to learn. I'm still learning a lot about business acquisitions, even though I know about real estate acquisitions, but I'm learning a lot about business acquisitions. But at least, even though I'm learning about business acquisitions, because this is a whole new thing that my company is moving into, but because I'm familiar with real estate acquisitions and because I'm familiar with business structures, right, and entity structures and holding companies and the concept of asset management, it's given me leverage to know how to position myself so that when I do identify with certain opportunities, I know how to approach them and I know how to integrate them into my business. So if you missed yesterday's show, I want to encourage you to go back and rewatch the show, because I was sharing with you 3 phases for acquisitions. So we have the accumulation phase, the integration phase, and we have the valuation phase. All right. Those are like the three phases of acquisition. Why? Because in order for your holding company to acquire an asset, you have to first have the eye and the ability to identify with what is an asset, right? You have to be able to identify with that. If you saw this pen or this white thing in my hand, right? If you saw this randomly outside while you were walking, you wouldn't really know what it is unless you were familiar with digital whiteboards. You wouldn't know this was a pen for a digital whiteboard. So for you, it may not be an asset, but for someone who has a digital whiteboard, this pen is an extremely important asset, because without this pen, see, you can't write, or actually it's letting you write a little bit. It let me write, see that? Wow, that's a surprise. But for the most part, without this pen, you ain't gonna be able to write fluently without glitching. That just let me wrote for a minute. I don't know how, oh, it did do that with maybe with my fingernail. But typically speaking, you're gonna need this to write on this board. Or you understand what I'm saying? So this is an asset to this whiteboard. So if you're going to acquire assets, I would say you wanna make sure you have your holding company set up, but then you wanna familiarize yourself with asset management and acquisitions. Because if you're able to use the holding company to do this, you're automatically going to have more leverage in the next 3 to 5 years. And as I've said many times before, if you own a holding company and your holding company owns another company, you are already participating in asset management. It's just a matter of you identifying with other things that could be considered assets that you could bring into the ecosystem of your business. So, of course, the first thing would be to make sure that you have your entity structured the right way, and then you want to get an eye for identifying with assets. There are businesses right now. People sell businesses every day. People shut businesses down every day. People close them down. People leave the marketplace every day. I mean, think about how many businesses close every day, every week, every month, every year. Some of these businesses have assets. They have a database. They have email lists. They have intellectual property. They have technology. They have inventory. They have a book of business. They have a client base. They may just be too small or unprofitable to exist and to remain active. So the business owner just lets the business go. You need to put yourself in a position to find out where these businesses are. It could be real estate. It could be other things outside of a business and real estate. There are so many things that are assets to a business. You just have to start identifying with them. And for most entrepreneurs, they have assets right under their nose that they ain't even paying attention to, like copyrights, trademarks, your own intellectual property. You have ideas and certain proprietary processes that you use. You might have savings accounts, retirement accounts, money market accounts. You might have personal investments in stocks and bonds or real estate. You might have equipment. You got all this stuff personally. You need to learn how to bring that stuff in and integrate it into your business. So you want to make sure that you have your holding company. And again, if you have a holding company, even if you just have one LLC under that holding company, I want you to understand that this in and of itself is a version of asset management. Do you understand that? Do all y'all that's watching me today understand what I'm saying? If you have a holding company that you own, LLC number one, and if your holding company owns a LLC number 2 or 3, 4, 5, even if you just have this structure, you are already participating in asset management, because this LLC is an asset to this LLC that you own and control. So you're already in the game of asset management, because your holding company has essentially acquired or created a new entity for it to own. If you can do this, then that means you can do it on any level with any other asset to put under this or inside of this holding company, whether it's an LLC or many other things. So again, you need to have the eye to learn how to accumulate the asset. I can't stress this enough. You got to get the eye for that. You got to learn to identify with things. One person's trash is another person's treasure. So you have to start identifying with what things are considered to be assets to my business. And if it's an asset to this business, it needs to pass the asset test. Number one, it needs to have the potential to monetize. All right? This is the test. It needs to have the potential to monetize. And number two, it needs to increase your enterprise value. All right? We'll talk about that probably tomorrow. But that's how you identify or accumulate assets. But then you need to integrate the asset. Integrate. So that means once it passes the asset test, you need to figure out, where do I need to put this asset inside of my business enterprise? If it's the asset of a car or a vehicle, if it's the asset of a piece of real estate, if it's the asset of some tangible or intangible item, where do I need to put it so that it can maximize my monetization or my profits and maximize me increasing my enterprise value? And again, the last one is valuate. Once you start accumulating enough assets under your holding company, whether these assets are other LLCs that are out there making money, whether these assets are retirement accounts that you self-direct to your holding company, there are so many ways you can accumulate it. And again, there are trillions and trillions of dollars sitting out here in the marketplace that make up your retirement accounts, your pensions, your equity in your homes, your business assets that you are not even paying attention to, that you need to start accumulating. You need to start identifying, getting an eye to see, how can I transfer that under my business so I can start growing my business and having the leverage and the flexibility to move into more opportunities, okay? If you don't start this process, number one, you're never gonna find an opportunity because you don't know how to look for opportunities or create the opportunities. And then number two, even if an opportunity hits you in the face, you're not gonna know how to deal with the opportunity or handle the opportunity. Why? Because you never took the time to build the right structure and to get the right knowledge and education to get better at doing this. So I do have courses inside of my mentorship program, and we have workshops that we show you the ins and outs of asset management. We help you understand the foundation of it. We talk about acquisitions. We talk about you becoming an asset manager and how to best use your holding company to do that. But again, whether it's with me or somebody else, you got to get in the right rooms. You got to get around the right people who are teaching this so that you could get better at it, because I truly believe that the next wave for entrepreneurs is acquisitions. And that wave is going to really be a big wave that you can surf for the next 3 to 5 years and get filthy rich doing it, because people are like virtually giving away assets today. People are just giving stuff away. All you got to do is Google how many businesses close every day. Just Google how many businesses close every day. How many businesses go bankrupt every day. Just Google this stuff and you will see, oh my God, there's so much wealth on this planet that I can start doing a grab on if I put me and my company in the best position. So you got to put yourself in the best position by getting the knowledge. You got to put your company in the best position by getting it structured and set up the right way. Okay. So again, I'm going to share with you just a couple common assets that can increase your net worth, a couple common assets that you can accumulate, integrate into this, and valuate, or in other words, you can increase the net worth of your company and the enterprise value and probably the revenue if you start acquiring these assets. You got trademarks. That's something that's self-explanatory for entrepreneurs. Copyrights, IP, intellectual property. So for example, I'm a coach, I'm a consultant, I'm an educator, right? For business and finance. So there's a certain way that I coach people. There's a certain process that I use to consult people. There's education that I have. Well, those are copyrights. Those are part of my trademarks, my intellectual property. I have a licensing program that I offer to people who want to become licensees because I have trademarks, I have copyrights, I have intellectual property that I have formulated and put together in the form of courses and curriculum and programs that licensees can actually pay me to become a licensee, and then they can go out into the marketplace and they can resell my digital programs and products and make money off of them as licensees. But I have to have intellectual property to do that. Does that make sense? Stocks and bonds. So you got personal stocks and bonds, but your business don't have them. Maybe you need to give it to your business. Ownership interests. So every time you set up a new LLC under your holding company, or if you partner with somebody with an LLC, or if you acquire a LLC, these are ownership interests. That can increase your net worth. Digital currency. There's a lot of digital currency that people personally own. I think all that should be owned by your business. It gives your business more leverage. Of course, real estate. I wouldn't own a piece of real estate in my holding company, but I would own a piece of real estate either in a trust. You can always put it in a trust if that's how you want to do it, or you could just put it in an LLC that your holding company owns. Licenses, we talked about that. Royalties, for all of you that are in music and entertainment or arts and things that relate to royalties. You can create royalties with the things that you have, whether it's publishing rights or whatever those things are. Equipment. If you have equipment, that's an asset to your business. Like you literally can create a whole LLC and put all your equipment in and lease your equipment out to other entities. That becomes an asset. Platforms are assets. We live in a digital world. Like we're in the digitization society now, right? So what that means is your social media platforms are assets to your business. There are people who make more money on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and all these other platforms and TikToks. There are people who make more money on social media platforms that they don't own. They don't control. All they have is pages. All they have is social media pages. But they've used those pages as leverage because those pages get eyes and ears on it. So don't underestimate the enterprise value of social media platforms. That's something that you might not hear a whole lot of business consultants talk about, but I'm telling you, your social media platforms or any type of platform can be an asset to your enterprise. Technology, of course, if you're a technological person and you create some type of app or some type of proprietary technology that makes something somebody does better, that becomes an asset. Inventory is an asset. Like I said, there are businesses today that close, that shut down. There are thousands and thousands of businesses that shut down every year, tens of thousands. All you got to do is pull this stuff up. You'll see so many businesses close and shut down every year. But a lot of these businesses have inventory if they sell physical products and services. They might have different inventory, digital inventory. That's still valuable. I'm telling you, this is the next wave, y'all. Leases can be assets. And that's just one page. I just gave you one page. This is a workshop and a boot camp that I do for my clients and my mentees, and we go over all these and we deep dive into them. So hopefully you got some value from today's show. I would love to know what your biggest takeaway was from the show today. Put it in the comments. Let me know what you heard today that kind of got your mind racing and got you thinking about, doing the doggone thing. Put it in the comments and let me know. I would love to get some feedback from you. I would love to know how this information about holding companies and acquisitions has made you think different about what you're doing as an entrepreneur. Because again, I think the next wave for entrepreneurs in the next 3 to 5 years, the next big wave is going to be acquisitions. So that means you need to familiarize yourself with holding companies, or in other words, you need to familiarize yourself with how to engineer the right business structure to accommodate this. You need to familiarize yourself with systems and processes, and you need to familiarize yourself with how to become a better CEO and asset manager, not just a business operator or a solopreneur. You need to learn this, and trust me, you can Google it, you can YouTube your way through some stuff, but at some point, like me and every other entrepreneur who's done it, you're gonna have to find programs and courses and communities that you can connect to help accelerate whatever it is you're interested in. That's one of the reasons why we put together this Millionaire Mentorship program. The reason why we call it a Millionaire Mentorship program, because I've engineered a $1 million enterprise, so I know how to do it. I've done it for myself. I'm doing it for so many mentees and clients that I work with as a coach and a consultant, and students who are on our training and educational platform. But I want to extend that offer to you as well. We have a Millionaire Mentorship program. It's a 1-year coaching, consulting, and educational program. So I just took the most important components of what I do as a consultant, coach, and educator, and I packaged it in the form of a 1-year mentorship program to give you enough time and information, training, support, resources to engineer a $1 million business so that you can be a part of this asset grab that's taking place right now and that will continue to increase for the next 3 to 5 years. So inside of our mentorship program, we give you 1 year unlimited access to our Millionaire Blueprint. That's all the education we have. The educational courses are on starting and structuring holding companies, filing and forming the paperwork. We have walkthrough video tutorials if you're a do-it-yourselfer. We have courses on sales with scripts, marketing, with campaign creatives, showing you how to creatively market your business, how to build your brand. We have courses on systems and processes, how to set up your systems for sales and marketing, for finances, for administration. Like, we literally have a whole entire educational program. We also give you 4 VIP tickets to our quarterly workshop. So every quarter I host a different workshop on a different area of your business. We do a deep dive. It's a 1-day event in those workshops, in person and virtual. So we give you access to our quarterly workshops. We give you VIP tickets to our coaching boot camps that we host throughout the year. We have weekly coaching calls to give you an opportunity to chime in once a week, to learn, to ask questions, to connect and network with other like-minded people. And we have a concierge service inside of our mentorship program. These are people who can reach out to you. You can reach out to any day of the week. You can text them, call them, email them, whenever you have a question about anything that you're doing while you're building your business. So this is a 1-year coaching and consulting program. We are currently offering this program for 1 year for $3,500. That's relatively low. It's extremely low compared to other business coaching programs that are available that don't even give you as many benefits as we do. But for this program, we offer it for $3,500 for the year. So that gives you 1 year unlimited access to all of our workshops, boot camps, our educational course, our weekly calls, our concierge, and our community, all right? If you pay the $3,500 up front, we just added 2 additional bonuses. One is a free LLC. So for anyone that pays the $3,500 up front, we add, in addition to all of this, we add a free LLC. That means we will put together an LLC for you. We will file and form your paperwork, whether it's a holding company, LLC, or operating company. We'll show you how to restructure your organization, and we'll do the paperwork for one LLC for you. And we will give you a free coaching session so that we can help restructure and reorganize your organization. We can look at your systems, your processes, your products, your services, your prices, and we can help you engineer a $1 million enterprise. And you're going to have a whole year to make sure that you're hitting every target that you set. So if you're interested, or if you just have questions about this coaching program or anything regarding systems, structures, holding companies, asset management, acquisitions. If you have any questions regarding it, or if you're interested in learning more about how you can be a part of our 1-year Millionaire Mentorship program, I want you to look in the comments. You'll see the word mentor. Our concierges have put a number with that word mentor. Just text the word mentor to us. We'll reach back out to you. We'll answer any question you have about structuring your holding company, reorganizing your enterprise, getting your system set up, learning how to pivot into asset management or investing. Like, we do it all, and we want to help you engineer that $1 million business, and we want to help you get to your next level. So look in the comments, text the word mentor that you see in the comments to that number, and we'll reach back out to you. I appreciate all of you for joining the Ramonepreston Show today. Don't forget, we are on a, I don't even know what to call it. We're on a journey right now to get our YouTube page to 10,000 subscribers. We're currently at about 9,400, so we need about 500 or 600 more subscribers to pass 10,000. So if you would be so kind, when this show ends, would you please go over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Please subscribe to our YouTube page, like our content, hit the notification bell, and be sure to tell Lolly Dolly, everybody, that the Ramonepreston Show is live every Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time, just like we will be tomorrow on Thursday at 12 o'clock noon. So I appreciate y'all, love y'all, thank y'all for joining the show. We'll see you tomorrow right here on the Ramonepreston